What is going on there, citizens of the Reject Nation? Greg here today. As of this moment of filming this, I am still quarantining, even though I'm feeling so much better. I did take a rapid. Yep, definitely still got the vid diesel. With that, be catching up on some movies here. I feel like that's just a great way to make the most of it. And I just want to say really fast, I've really been enjoying doing, like these movie reaction reviews, catching up on films I've never seen before. Leave some recommendations down in the comments below. I just really like the format of this, it's not too much different than doing a show, but to be able to do like an instant spoiler review and then share my experience of watching a movie that many of you have already seen. It's just so fun and enjoyable. So thank you for being here. And since a lot of this has been catch up based off recommendations that you guys have been throwing my way, I figured why not mix it up a little bit? Haven't done a horror movie in a while. So let's watch the movie Sinister today. Don't know anything about it, don't know any details other than that Ethan Hawke is in this, Scott Derrickson directed film, but in terms of plot, know nothing. I have actually a big affinity for horror, and I know this is actually quite a beloved film. Big beloved. I'm not sure. People like it. Oh yeah, leave a like. That'd also be great. And subscribe to become a citizen of the Reject Nation. And full-length reaction watch-alongs where you sync up with your own copy for Sinister are over at our Patreon page for super sexy rejects. Cover a whole bunch of stuff over there, some exclusive content as well. Lastly, the team at Prepper, thank you for helping me edit down these highlights. You guys have been an absolute blessing as of late. So let's get to it, guys. That's an opening shot. Oh, that's freaking eerie. Oh, man. Opening image, established tone, mood. Good. We are a messed up movie.
No, I had to move here. The new story I'm writing is here.
I miss my school.
Well, you know what? The school here is supposed to be pretty great.
But I want my old one.
If we don't like it here, once I sell my book, we'll move back. But only if we don't like it here.
What the shit is she drawing?
We didn't move in a few houses down from a crime scene again, did we?
Tracy.
No, just don't say anything. If we did, I don't want to know about it.
Did you guys move into a crime scene?
You promise?
I promise.
Oh my God, you moved into a murder house. Oh, it's the tree where the people were hanging.
You gotta be kidding me. Family hanging out 11?
Oh, that's in poor taste. That's in poor taste. Unless it's actually family hanging out.
Yes, I'm listening.
Let's at least make sure your office stays locked. It's one thing to hear about it, it's another thing to see it. I don't want him walking in again. He's 12 years old.
Mom, he knows how old I am.
Hey, stop it.
I forgot how old you were.
Always lock Dad's office.
That's right. And I don't want to hear another thing about why we're here from anybody.
Yeah.
I predict someone will go into Dad's office and it will be unlocked.
If this goes sour, like last time, I'll take Trevor and Ashley and go back home to my sisters.
But it's not gonna go sour.
Good. Good kicks and love.
All right. Show a little bit of like positive reinforcement now. Ethan Hawke just seems like one of the coolest dudes. Wow, you figured that out fast. I'd be spending like an hour and a half. Did people back then find 8mm footage creepy too? Oh shit. See, it is hanging out with a family. Wait. So that's a family? I seem like such a dumbass. That's a family? God, I hope this doesn't become like a Shining thing where his family ends up there. That is a good question. Did I miss a line about them not getting electricity in this home?
Daddy, I can't find the bathroom.
Look at all these new paintings. You're really getting good.
Maybe one day I'll paint something really good. Then I'll be famous like you.
You don't want to be famous the way he's famous. How crazy would it be if Ethan Hawke was playing that guy too? What the shit? These are like a whole bunch of snuff videos. Oh my goodness. In some ways, he really stumbled onto a gold mine here.
King County Police Department, how may I direct your call? King County Police Department, how may I direct your call? Hello?
Aw, damn it. You had an opportunity to make a right choice. But you want that 15 minutes of fame, Hawk.
Ashley?
Never do for a living what this guy does. That is very noticeable. Whoa, it's his son. What the hell?
Oh my God, is he okay?
Hey, what are they saying? Hey, come on outside. Come on, hey, wake up somewhere, all right? Hey, wake up. Come on, wake up.
Damn, that was a hell of a frantic shot.
Why are we outside?
All right, buddy. Okay. You're having a bad dream, okay? One of those night terrors. It's just the stress of the move. I found him in one of the moving boxes.
Oh, baby.
What a very specific way to have night terrors.
I'm just really sorry.
It's not your fault. Come on. It's cold. Let's go inside.
Huh. For some reason, I really felt that apology. Oh man, dude, call the cops. This person left the box there. How icky. I know one. I got some fucked up videotapes. Weird. Aw, man. That's unfortunate. Man, and he can't just like talk to his wife about this shit either.
Your son is acting out again.
All right, what did he do?
Oh, so you're automatically taking her side?
Stop it. What did you do?
I drew a picture.
He drew a picture with a permanent marker on the classroom whiteboard. Tell him what you drew.
I drew a tree.
With 4 people hanging from it.
Oh, no.
Nothing about what happened to these people is okay. But bad things happen to good people, and they still need to have their story told. They deserve that much.
You're a real man of the people.
Trying to spin it like he's trying to do a good deed. It's like this whole movie is just him watching an anthology of Super 8 films. Don't kill the dog. Dude, I don't think you're cut out for this job. You seem way too affected by everything. Uh-oh. Got a Jack Torrance on her hands. I gotta say, I really like Ethan Hawke's performance in this so far. There's actually quite a lot of layers to his character already. What? What does it say?
Police have released this photo of Christopher Miller, the missing 13-year-old son of William and Penny Miller. The Millers, along with their younger son, were found stabbed inside their home.
You gotta get the fuck out of this house, man. Serial killer watcher. He's being watched. Again, the electricity in this house. Dude, I'd be so paranoid. I get anxiety enough as it is. Was this movie shot on film? It kind of looks that way. You are a brave, brave soul, man. I actually really liked Ethan Hawke's scream to that. What? That is like some devil shit.
Family hanging out, pool party, sleepy time.
Don't just leave that here, man. Take it with you. Yikes.
Well, the bleeding stopped for now, but if it starts again or there's any more swelling, I want you to call a doctor immediately.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I've noticed he has never left this house.
I'm guessing that you got squirrels. I bet that they got spooked from the sound of everything shutting down at once. You know how they are.
Not really. I'm not really a squirrel guy.
Oh.
I am.
I did kill a scorpion when we first moved in here, though, so maybe I should get an exterminator.
Well, scorpions have feet, but you wouldn't hear them like you would squirrels.
1998, St. Louis, a family was stabbed to death. Actually, they had their throats cut. Or 1979, a family was burned alive, parked inside their own car in their own garage.
What city?
I don't know. All I have is a year and the method of execution.
This guy's like Deputy Dewey.
So ultimately, what feels better? Seeing justice done or seeing your book, Kentucky Blood, #1 on the New York Times bestseller list?
The justice. No, without question.
Is that the truth? Good catch. Kind of looks like an alien. There. At least the clues are just being laid out for you, crystal clear.
But we have to make it just right. He's very particular about his coffee.
Really capturing the way this coffee's made.
2976 Piedmont Way, St. Louis.
That is excellent. Wait, did you say 2976, like 2976?
Yeah, why? Does that mean something to you?
No, it doesn't. No, thank you. Thank you, Deputy.
Just keep looking at that image, waiting for it to move.
Just moved here. They lived where the Miller family murders happened. Holy shit.
Good old spooky fun. Spooky fun. Holy moly, that is creepy. The ghosts are coming for you. Don't just brush that off. I would get a second eye on that. Make sure. Like, are you seeing what I'm seeing? Oh, God, you need a therapist. Keep wondering if he's, like, already dead and he's in some weird purgatory. Are you slowly giving life to this thing? Yikesy. Oh.
I found him outside. We have to put a lock on his door. It's way worse than it was.
I'll call the doctor in the morning.
Right, you stay with him. I left something outside.
Well, that is just spooky as shit.
I don't want to hurt you. I just want to get my bat. So.
Oh, man.
Drop the book. We can pack up, get out of town, and never look back.
Yeah, why? Because he's having some
No,
night
no,
terrors?
it's more than that. He's never been this bad. You've never been this bad.
What are you talking
You've been at this
about?
book for less than a week, and you're already a mess.
It's been less than a week. Oh, my God. I'm on her side now.
This could be mine in cold blood. A movie deal, talk show circuit, right? The National Book Award, and more money than we could, we could live wherever we wanted to.
I don't care about any
yes,
of
you
that.
do. Everybody
I'm
doesn't do
just-
it. This is my shot, Tracy.
Your sin is greed.
If you want me to run interference for you while you get this worked out, I gotta be in the loop. Just a little bit.
You really want to help?
It's my home, Mr. Oswald. What happened here happened to all of us.
They both got that, like, conflicting shadow thing. I don't know. It's just like being consumed by the darkness.
Do you think these are serial murders?
Maybe. More ritualized than necessarily serial, but really spread out. And not just regionally, but over time. The first one I found dates back to the 60s.
The 1960s?
In each instance, the killer murdered the entire family except one, a child, which he took with him.
You might want to call the university. There's a professor over there, Professor Jonas. He's an occult crime expert, and the state police bring him in on some of the weirder stuff.
I don't want that cop to die. He seems so sweet. I like the plays of shutter speed. It's like you have a different kind of camera use for the transitions into a different camera lens you're about to see a POV through. It's pretty cool. So where's this little girl now? If you find yourself trying to figure out the mystery too. It's the goddamn devil. He murdered the lawnmower. That was just a combination of all senses right there. That's actually, I really like that jump scare because it's so hypnotic with the music and the visuals. I was just getting like entranced in it. Then, shrill. Felt like my chest just tightened so much there.
Thank you for getting back to me so quickly. I appreciate that.
Of course, I'm a really big fan. I'm flattered that you
thank you.
Once I saw the photos that you sent, I knew exactly what cases that you were studying.
Wait, how?
Kingpin and Arthur Harrow.
It's a symbol associated with the worship of a pagan deity.
A deity? What kind of deity?
A very obscure one, dating back to Babylonian times, named Bagul, the eater of children.
Did you say eater?
He's so frightened.
Each story involves a different way that he lures or tricks these children away from the physical world. And of course, the few times that this symbol has shown up, none of the crimes have been related in any way to any of this. And so this might be more of a cult initiation rather than, the actual actions of any one man.
Sure, that's better. What the shit? Dude, move. I like the way the little girl ghost plays. Creepy. I'm assuming they're the kids that were hung. Or I assume they have some specific markings. So I'd say you can hear. It's an interesting choice to let you see the ghosts. Oh my God. Oh my God. No. No. That poor girl. I am not a fan of that. I'm not a fan. It's good scary shit, man. It's like the first time we really broke perspective from Ethan Hawke. These are more fun to watch with you guys than just me by myself.
So I appreciate you coming by, officer.
Oh, yeah, it's not a problem at all.
So we're becoming friends, right?
I suppose, yeah.
I mean, I can trust you, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm losing my fucking mind.
Okay, well, does your wife know about it? Does she know whose house this was? Oh, man. Oh, that is a conversation that I would not want to be around for.
Here, here.
There was none of that with the Stevensons, huh?
No. In the short amount of time that the Stevensons lived here, they never called the police. They never had the police called on them or reported anything bizarre that came up in the investigation.
You know, so good in this. I like this cop a lot, too.
There's a whiskey bottle in your office. It doesn't appear to be the slightest bit neglected. Mr. Oswald, Mr. Oswald, listen, I'm not saying that you have a drinking problem.
Right, okay.
I don't think that. Nor do I think that you're making any of this up to get attention. I don't think that.
This is such good scene work.
I thought something was in the house. And I woke up on the couch holding a baseball bat.
If you sleep in this house, it's just gonna do terrible things to your head.
Yeah, man, you don't need to be here. You have a second house you can move back to.
Paint only goes in the bedroom.
What makes you think you can paint out here?
I wanted to paint her picture, but she didn't want it in my room because that used to be her brother's room.
What?
She's the one Daddy's writing his book about.
Ashley, go to your room and shut the door.
That conversation's about to happen. I really do think it's cool they let you see that the little girl did experience the ghost. Like, they actually showed you that.
We never should have come here.
Tracy, nobody died here, okay? It's not like we're sleeping where somebody was killed. It's not like they had to wipe blood off the walls for the open
So you're
house.
saying it didn't happen here?
No. It happened in the backyard.
I think that makes a difference.
It does.
No, Ellison, it doesn't.
No, man. No.
The kind of jeopardy you put your children in, your marriage.
Yes, I do. I
Anything
understand.
you won't do for your goddamn book. I guess this is all worth it to you.
What's worth it?
Putting your family at risk.
Risk of what? Of more paintings?
Don't.
Oh, my God. Mr. Minimizer, man.
There are plenty of other ways you can provide for this family.
Doing what?
Don't you understand that writing is what gives my life meaning? These books are my legacy.
Man, this is such a cautionary tale.
You and me, right here, this marriage, that's the meaning of your life. And your legacy, that's Ashley and Trevor. Your kids are your legacy.
This is true. What the fuck? No. He's starting to be recorded. That's the 8mm footage of the ladder. So he can see all this, right? He can see the kids. See, like, the wife would have heard all that, right? Like the clashing on the ground.
I made a mistake. We should have never come to this house. We have to leave now.
Oh, you're freaking me out here.
Get the kids. Pack the car. We have to leave.
Are they gonna be able to leave? Hey, he's out of the house. There goes all my theories.
Where are we going, Daddy?
We're going home, honey.
Oh, great. They did talk about getting pulled over at the beginning of this movie.
I don't want to be reading in your book that angry town folks chased you out of here.
There isn't going to be any book.
There's one more favor. Hold it under 60 till you cross the county line, until you're somebody else's problem.
I ain't falling for any of this bullshit. No, the terror has followed. They used to live there. Now they live here. Right? Isn't that the trajectory of like they used to live there? Maybe people did. I don't know. I can't figure this out. It's like, what is it? What's the goddamn reveal?
Bagula actually lived in the images themselves and that they were gateways into his realm. The ancient church believed that he would take possession of those who saw the images and cause them to do terrible things.
Your call came so late. Answer. Man, to hell with addicts. Oh my God. Extended cut endings. Oh man, that is mean. Call the cop back. That cop has some answer for you, man.
The dates, the addresses. Each family that you had me look up had previously lived in the house where one of the earlier murders took place.
Exactly.
But before the Miller family was killed, the Millers lived in the same house in Orange County where the Deluzio lawn massacre occurred. If this guy is still out there, you not only just sped up his timeline, you put yourself in it.
It's like it shoves you out of the house. And that's the final step. Oh my God. Put this on your cell phone. That is creepy as hell.
Stephanie.
Oh, they got to compile it all to one. Your daughter or your son. Could be either one of them. You got to kill them both. Oh, no. Holy shit.
Don't worry, Daddy. I'll make you famous again.
Oh. It's like some Tales from the Crypt kind of shit. Oh my God. It's crazy. Is it the little girl on the poster? Oh, that's terrible, man. Huh. She just jumps into frame. Yeah, it was like a Tales from the Crypt. Nice one. Not bad. I enjoyed the hell out of that one. I heard the sequel's not as good. What is it, just like lore exploration? That was great. That was great. Got some thoughts that I definitely want to dive into. Let me just wait to see if there's a post-credit scene. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I am not going to bullshit you. In between stopping the movie, I went to go to the bathroom. I was like a kid again. I went to the bathroom, and then the second I stepped out of this door, it's just this pitch black hallway. It's like it's 3:26 a.m. right now. This is this pitch black hallway, and I could see into another room, and it was pitch black, and I was legit scared. I kept thinking I was gonna see Mr. Boogie, and then I went to the bathroom, and the window was open. I was like, oh God damn, it's happening to me. Great. That means it's effective. It's yeah, you know, I liked it. I liked it a lot. I think there's a lot of great qualities about this film. I like that it has this like cool blend of true crime with this undercurrent of like a percolating supernatural horror as well. It's got this really cool mix of both, you know, and as someone who is very much interested in both of those genres and a fan, I would say, it was cool to see a story that really blended both while also hearkening to works of Stephen King, and then also hearkening to, you know, like I really liked the show Tales from the Crypt, which I know I mentioned a couple of times here, but those are always like cautionary tales about usually it's the downfall of someone. Usually it's the downfall of someone doing something terrible, and then they get what's coming to them. And it's not exactly what this is, but it's still a cautionary tale of, you know, watching how this, like the twist, the reveal of it, this bites them in the ass about how, oh, he keeps saying he wants to provide for the family, but he's so you know, motivated by ultimately what is like a greedy desire, you know, but it's a very relatable desire. That's what I thought was really effective about it, because I think a lot of people will often be in this situation. Like I thought a lot of the arguments that were written between him and the wife were pretty realistic. You know, I like those little moments where usually it can be played out in a cliche way, and at times it felt like, you know, there was such good rhythm to the back and forth of the dialogue with some of these arguments that was the one thing that really helped. It really helped save it from becoming like frustrating or perfunctory, you know, like little lines that would be thrown in there of like, you know, like, yeah, we got to have all this money. It's gonna be my Capote book. You know, I like the name of the book too. It reminds me of, you know, I think it's a very intentional thing of playing on Capote's Cold Blood book. But when they are fighting, he's like, yeah, we do this for all this money. It's like, I don't care about the money, the wife says. And then, you know, he interjects like, yeah, everyone does a little bit. I'm like, yeah, see, that feels more real to me as opposed to having like a bunch of dramatic pauses in between. I think the way the back and forth is with a lot of the scene work was really great, and that helped really drive home the points even more and actually paint a solid gray area for a lot of this debate, you know, and because I think fleshing out the Ethan Hawke character, whose name I'm totally forgetting, even though I just watched this movie. I'm just gonna call him Ethan Hawke. I think the combination of the writing of Ethan Hawke's character, of how that is what's propelling this journey, and then, of course, Ethan Hawke's performance really bringing that to life, because, you know, he hops back and forth between saying two things, which is, you know, like, oh, I want to do good. I want to save this person. I want to do right. I need to solve this crime. But then also, he's got the thing of blind ambition and chasing those glory days, the Al Bundy days, as I usually refer to it, you know, chasing those glory days and the times where he felt adored and was wealthy, you know, living the American dream, and he can't just appreciate what he has in front of him. You know, there's like another version of this movie where I could see like a Guillermo del Toro story where it would have a bit more of a fairy tale ending, where he does ultimately learn the right thing and he gets to live with his family and be happy after some glorious supernatural you know, finale. But that obviously is not the case here, and that's not the kind of horror movie this is. But with the Ethan Hawke character, what was great about it was I believed again, that gray area, I believed both sides. You could see that there are shades of him that obviously really want to solve this because of his obsession with solving the case in a time, and you could see how he's not just some cold-blooded guy when watching the found footage qualities, when watching all the things that were left behind for him to dissect. He's very much affected and squeamish and horrified, and, you know, because it's also watching families and like little kids being killed. You could already pick up on the performance without him having to say it, that he's a father himself, and of course, you know, he could be flashing to his own children as well And I really think Ethan Hawke provided both of those qualities because his character is in conflict with himself. Like, while a lot of times he will lay down that it's like, yeah, about the money. It's about the money. But no, it's actually about this. And you could see that there is that conflict where they are like combating with each other throughout. At least that's the way I interpreted it, that I thought there were times where he really just did care about solving this. I did care to want to know the truth and understand. And clearly, because even he, at the end, he was like, by the time he was back at the house, he didn't want to write a book anymore, but he still had to know. He still had to know the truth, especially when scary ass spooky shit just keeps happening to him. Of course he has to know the truth. What the hell would you when your boxes show back up in the attic and such? So I thought that Ethan Hawke absolutely killed it. Like, the anguish in his performance, it was very, very human and very natural, and he didn't like overplay the drama. You watch this character really descend over time. Like, so much earlier on, I could already pick up on all these different layers because there's such a buildup to everything sort of collapsing on itself internally and externally with Ethan Hawke's relationship as a dad and as a husband, and that buildup of tension with him and his wife, because it was constantly, like, I don't like being here, Ethan Hawke. I don't like being here, and you could do something else to provide. We don't need the money and all this stuff. And then fighting, and then, oh, I'm sorry, no, I love you. Like, it was kind of this pattern that just kept building and building and building upon itself till it was just starting to really implode upon the two of them. And I think that there was such great nuance handled on things that could have just been solely tropes. Because it's, in fact, sometimes I felt like they would do certain horror motifs and tropes in order to mislead you and make you think something else is about to happen when it doesn't. And I thought that was great usage of it. And I actually really I know when you say jump scares, there's this one pocket of the internet of the world that like gawks at that word. But I think jump scares, when utilized properly, can be quite effective and make for an exciting experience. And I thought the use of jump scares here was also used very well. And like, some of them were just truly like, oh my God, that really just, like, some of the jump scares would like just like land their claws into your soul, and you're just like, argh! And I really appreciated that, because a lot of times you can see jump scares coming, and even at times you could see a jump scare coming, it would be a different kind of combination of sensory experiences that would still get me so jolted. Again, it was like kind of being like electrocuted for a while. Just, and I liked it. I like the way that was handled. And I think Scott Derrickson's direction here is really cool, because you're this character's picking up a Super 8, has a projector, and you're hopping between two different cinematic styles, which is the found footage, 8mm footage. Very creepy stuff. Snuff film. Very creepy. Yeah, that was some creepy ass shit. But then, once in a while it would get a little pulled out. Like, I don't actually know what it looks like for someone to have their throat slit. Like, I don't actually know what that looks like. But it did still look like cinematic cutting. Like, it looked like movie cutting of someone's neck. So it would still kind of pull me out a little bit. But that's like my one nitpick about that level of violence. Like, I thought the use of the other ways of violence I thought were way creepier than having the knife in the throat. Like tying them up on the pool benches and then dragging them into the water. That was super creepy. That one really stands out to me. The ones being like tied up in the car and being lit on fire, or even like that really effective one with the lawnmower, how it just cut away right away when it was about to like go over the person's head. Like, that was, I like the way that was edited Thank God we didn't actually see that. That was I wouldn't want. That's not fun. That's not fun at all. Like this movie managed to deal with true crime, deal with supernatural horror, while at the same time being really entertaining and also being dreadful. Like it had that cool, like that Blumhouse flavor, where it is like a fun horror movie still, but also in that other genre that is like considered elevated horror, where it's mainly psychological, more than it is, wanting to be fun, spooky horror that's about unpacking all these myths and lores. And you do get that, like the reveal. That's why I said it when I was reacting to it. That's why they cut to, because this whole movie's from Ethan Hawke's perspective, and I always take note when you break perspective. I tend to get really caught up on in movies of how perspective is captured, and so when I had that one moment when because it starts playing with the audience. Sorry, I'm starting to get like a bunch of thoughts that are starting to like flow in right now. It starts playing with the audience where, yeah, oh, that's cool. That's brilliant. I just appreciated this movie a lot more because this movie deals so much with imagery. Like you got the 8mm camera, the projector, then you got the way the movie actually just looks like a modern day film. And, you're dealing with laptops. You got a different bunch of images and screens, and then you do have that moment when Mr. Boogie does turn on in the laptop and looks at Ethan Hawke, and it does seem to have that. There's like a word for it. What is that word? Damn, I can't come up with the word, but the part of the philosophy of it is like images. You get consumed enough with images, they start to kind of like look back at you. I think, or am I making that up? I think that's a thing I've heard about. And then eventually, it's like the movie itself in its relationship with the audience starts to look back at you as well, where it does start to kind of break the veil and break perspective, where you start to see the creeks, which are actually the ghost children. The movie starts to show you the ghosts, and when Ethan Hawke can't see the ghosts, and it was a neat way to play with the horror motif of little kids, because it only enhanced the mystery more. Like it had my mind constantly going, is Ethan Hawke already dead? Is he already a ghost that's in denial? Like I was already like kind of jumping ahead and thinking of other things because they were messing with this trope, but at the same time, it was pulling back that veil. So it's starting to clue the audience in by we're watching the image of the movie, and then the image now looking back at us with the, that's so cool. I actually really like that. I mean, this could just be my wild interpretation about it, but I feel like that's what the movie's doing. But the image is looking back at us, and you have you see the ghost children, and then you break perspective for the first time out of all the characters to then just solely lock onto the daughter and see that she's interacting with the kid and giving like some actual clues here as to giving actual clues here. And I, looking back, I'm like, okay, there are, because any part of a good twist reveal is I like the feeling of going, oh yeah, I could have put that together maybe. And because I did start to think like maybe the little girl's grown up, because it was like the movie eventually lets you in on it's a supernatural horror. They eventually let you know this is a supernatural horror film. And because I never got to the point where I'm like, is this all in his head? Is this real? Is it not real? Is it in his head? What is this? It didn't actually have me debate that, and maybe the movie didn't want you to, but I feel like it's kind of telling you early on, like, no, there's some real supernatural shit actually happening here, and I just lost my train of thought because I got so many thoughts coming in here right now. I think the way the movie, because it was messing with the audience, and I like the way it messes with the audience. It starts to become a bit of a meta experience in that regard, and the way Scott Derrickson messes with the different film styles and shutter speeds, and messing with horror motifs to make you question things, and being the lighting, the eerie lighting, where so much of the time characters are entering from first being in darkness and then they enter into light, or they walk into darkness, or everything is very dark. This is a very dark movie. It's like shadow eventually over-consuming everyone, with some grade A acting from Ethan Hawke throughout. And I think the cop deputy so-and-so, I think, do we ever learn the cop's name? Deputy so-and-so, such a earnest performance. And I thought it was going to be like, oh, here we go, just the dumb cop, bunch of comedic relief jokes, and then they evolved him into something more, and you do show that he is very capable and actually smart. Like, it wasn't just the dummy got a job in Dumbtown. He actually shows that, oh, okay, it makes sense why he's a cop. Like, he can actually do his job when the time comes for it. And also him being a reflection of him being a cop himself, but also kind of wanted a little bit of that fame and recognition and that obsession with true crime to a certain extent. I think the mirroring of that was really cool, and I really appreciate it. And part of me wants to know if he's in Sinister too. Like, a part of me goes, I'm not itching to instantly watch Sinister 2 right away, because I've heard that it's not as good, and but I'm like, but if he's in it, I might want to check it out actually. So. Yeah, he was a great character. Some of my little qualms that I would have with the movie, though, do come down to, as much as I appreciated the more realistic writing and performance, especially. I don't know the wife's I don't know the wife's character name or the actors, but they're. Like, I thought the performances most of it really elevated. I couldn't tell if it was quite the writing or the acting, because even though there is a pretty big realism to the repetition and the escalation of their relationship, at times I would find her a little frustrating. It just started feeling like a little bit of like tropey in the way she was ultimately written. I thought adding in a little bit more of those nuances of like, oh yeah, I've calmed down, I was taking something out of you, I'm sorry, does help eliminate some of that, but there were certain moments where I did find myself being like a little frustrated. But then again, he's the ultimate asshole, and it makes sense why she would be have that much tension built up in her, and why they kept doing that. I might take that one back. In the immediacy of the moment, I would sometimes feel it, but thinking back on it, doesn't really bother me that much. What I did really crave was, and I know this is kind of common with horror movies and kind of movies in general where the main characters aren't kids, was a little bit more fleshing out of the children. I wouldn't have minded an extra like 5-10 minutes just to have the kids feel like have real personalities. It's like the kid boy was just angsty teen or having night terrors, and it was kind of just those two notes. One very effective creepy note, and it was just like angsty teen, creepy, and it's kind of like such a horror movie thing. And then the little girl was like, I'm a little girl, not real personalities to them. And I especially with seeing who the personalities are of these parents and how involved they are with their kids, I did find myself going like, oh, I would probably care just that much more about, even though I'm really emotionally invested and I really care about like I just like, I don't want the family to die. I just don't want them to die. I'm really invested in Ethan Hawke. I did go, oh, that would have just pushed this movie up that much more if the kids were written better, and I think it would have made the twist that much more effective, because it does feel like horror movie kid at the end. It's a little goofy, which is like writing or drawing. It's a little goofy, but it would have made it that much more effective, I thought, if they had more meat to the writing of them. Another thing that I want to credit to is the score. There was that great pulsating, like throbbing, electronic way to it, where at times it would just sound like just this shrill sound effect instead of instrument. And I think that was really cool to kind of have this like weird sensory meditative experience with it, where at times you couldn't tell if it was music or if it was just like fucking painstaking sounds. That was great stuff. And yeah, I think the cautionary tale of this element really rides more on how he shouldn't have done this, and he did like some messed up things. Like, I think that's pretty messed up to move your family into a murder house knowing goddamn well it's a murder house. That's pretty messed up. And then all the warning signs about you should just go to the cops, or you should just put this down. Generally just wouldn't listen, and because he kept pursuing things that ultimately would not bring him or his family happiness, and that's a good life lesson. But there's also that horror movie cautionary tale thing of don't touch things that don't fucking belong to you. That had me thinking that way, because when I moved here, there was some stuff left behind, and I was like, ooh, I kind of want to just go through it, like mail gets delivered here, and I'm like, I kind of want to open it. Bad juju can come from that, you know what I mean? But yeah, I think that overall this was a very effective horror movie, and it was exciting. I was thoroughly engaged. I mean, I started this at like 12:45 at night or something like that, and I got the vid in me right now, but yet I feel I was wide awake for it, and I had a really good time, and it had more nuance to it and some cool themes that I just wasn't expecting. I didn't know what to expect out of it, but the package that I got, I thought was a really cool package. And this is one of the best Ethan Hawke performances I've ever seen. I haven't seen like a ton of Ethan Hawke movies. Generally, I think he's a great actor. But this performance here, I thought was really great. So, yeah. Thank you guys for being here. This was a hell of a ride. And before I go, I would like to end this with a Patron of the Day shout out. Tyler Haig. Tyler, the reason I'm shouting you out is because if I was stuck in just a terrifying horror situation where I couldn't leave a house, who would I want to be cozied up with is you. We call you our cuddle bear of the Patreon for a reason. So if I was in a horrific situation, I needed to feel safe. If I just needed to feel protected and to know in here that everything's going to be okay, I'd snuggle up with you. You'd hold me and keep me warm. And then if you had to, you just hold me into your belly like in Gladiator, and then just press my mouth into you. And then you put me out of my misery, which would be the ultimate relief. So Tyler, I love that you're willing to kill me if it'll bring me happiness. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about right now. Tyler, you're the man, dude. You're the absolute man. I should just say that. You're the best. And I miss hearing from you. But you've never left my mind and soul, because you're an OG and you're loyal as shit. And I'm so curious to know what you have been up to lately, actually. I'm going to send you a message. I'm so curious to know what you've been up to. It's been such a long time. Playing any new video games? How's that book coming along? Tyler? I'm delirious. See you, buddy. Hope you enjoy your shout out.